Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. Today I have 20 Easter Dollar Tree DIYs for you. Very traditional Easter DIYs that I've done so far here on my channel, and I also have a fun Easter coffee bar later on in the video as well. Our first one, I want to make a giant fluffy bunny to hang on my wall using some of these microfiber mop heads from the Dollar Tree and like a little tinsel egg and a bunny head made out of tinsel as well. I love using these tinsel items for their cages because you can always DIY them and make them really cute, a lot better than this cheap like tinsel stuff. So what I'm going to do is kind of put the two together. So I'm just going to remove all of the tinsel from the egg, and that is going to be like the bunny body to hang on the wall. And then of course the bunny head is going to be its head. Now the egg was a little bit easier to clean up than the bunny because the bunny's got like paper and eyes and ears and all that kind of stuff. But basically you can just kind of cut it, get it loose, and it's pretty easy to unwrap. And when you're done, you have a great cage to DIY however you'd like. If you can't find this, you could probably do the same thing with the wire bunny head and a wire egg. They have them both in wiry forms as well at the Dollar Tree. But we're going to do the plastic with this one. So as you can see, some of the places you just have to go in and cut it because it's really wrapped tight, and then you can usually just pull it right off. There we go. We have the bunny head and the bunny body. The egg is shaped perfectly, I think, for the bunny body. So these are the little microfiber mop heads from the Dollar Tree. I love these. They're so fluffy. I love to DIY with them. And I'm going to cover this entire thing with the little mop heads. So I'm just going to start with one piece and just hot glue that to our cage just around the edges here, anywhere where I can get a place to put a bead of that hot glue. And just making sure I'm covering the whole egg, I'm just going to kind of lay it on there with one side kind of matching up to the side. And then once I've got it secure, then I'm going to flip it over and kind of cut it down to size, just using some sharp scissors. When you do cut that microfiber, it does kind of shed a little bit. So just try to cut like that fabric on the back if you can. And just pull off any of the excess strings. So basically, I just want to cover the cage. I want to cover all those little tabs that are sticking out on the side. And so that looks pretty good, and we can keep wrapping this with the microfiber mop heads. I've made so many things with these. I've made Christmas trees, like snowy Christmas trees. I love DIYing with these. They're so fluffy. I've even made, they make cute gnome beards as well. So just using another solid piece, I am just going to place hot glue across the cage and just line it up right next to the next one. Just trying to get as much coverage as I can out of one of those mop heads. And as you can see, 2 mop heads pretty much covers the egg. There's a little bit of room left here. But I do like to cut it after I get it on there so that I can get it cut down perfectly right to size. So I do have a little piece that I cut off from the bottom. That's going to be the perfect scrap size to fill up this top part. So basically 2 mop heads to do the egg shape. And then I'm going to string in just a piece of twine so that I can tie that to the head of the bunny so I can connect them together. And I'm just going to trim off all that excess, trying to pull off any of the loose strings as well. And it gives me a nice little fluffy body. So now we're going to do the same thing here with a little bunny head, just trying to get as much coverage as I can. As you can see, that cage kind of goes up and down. So it's a little bit more challenging than the egg, but basically if you can get pretty good coverage across, you can kind of just push that down in there. And just going around the little bunny cheeks and cutting out that shape. we're going to keep moving up and doing the same thing. But first, before I cover up too much, I'm just going to replace the hanger with just another piece of twine. There was an existing little hole hanger on there, so that's going to be the perfect way to hang it. Now, this microfiber mop head, I just kind of had to go over the face and part of the ears and just, again, cutting it down to size. So just going to kind of go around the ears, just cut out any of the excess there. And let's see, we've used a total of 4 of the mop heads so far. So it looks like a total of 5. I'm just going to cut this last one in half. That way you can do one for each ear. And when you lay them up next to each other, you can get a pretty close seam in between. When you fluff it out, it kind of looks like one continuous piece of fluff. And this turned out so cute. This would match any kind of Easter decor, I think. And I think kids would really like this one as well. It's super cute. So I got that glued to both of my ears, just trimming off the excess. And there's our little fluffy bunny head, our little fluffy egg that we're going to use as the body. And then I wanted to make a fluffy tail, and I found this actually in the toy department at Dollar Tree. It's like I guess like a feathery, fluffy pipe cleaner. I'm not really sure. And I'm just wrapping it in circles just to make a big bunny tail. You can kind of use whatever you've got, but I loved the color of this. It's perfect to go with my coastal decor in my house. And I thought it would make a good bunny tail. So I'm just gluing that down to the bottom of the bunny. And it's going to be just the back of the bunny, a fluffy bunny back. So now I'm going to take that twine that we tied on the egg part for the body and just simply tie these together. So super easy. This is going to give you a nice large DIY for your wall. It really makes a big impact. Now I wanted to do something like a bow around the neck. And so I'm going to use some of this beautiful like mint green bluish ribbon from the Dollar Tree, the burlap. It's almost the same exact color as that cute little bunny tail. So I'm just going to tie that simply around the bunny's neck and kind of like knot it into just a little tie around its neck and kind of tie it over to the side since it is the bunny's back, and not really the front. And then I'm just going to go in and dovetail that as well. And then I kind of wanted to make it look like a bow. So I'm going to take some more of that burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree and just kind of loop it like that. And we're just going to do kind of a faux bow using just a zip tie. It's going to give me a perfect little bow exactly where I need it to be. And I just kind of overlapped it there at the bottom and looped it up into a bow and then just zip tied that onto the ribbon that we tied around the neck. Just a simple, cute little bow. And that burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree is wired, so it does kind of keep its shape nicely. And here he is, our little fluffy Easter bunny. We're going to use actually 2 of these wreath rings from the Dollar Tree. They're the really large 18-inch ones. And we're going to do kind of like a little nest Easter egg thing. I've seen people do this, so I thought I would try to give my take on one of these. Basically, you're just going to use it as a cage. So I turn it upside down. And then what I want to do is just fill it with greenery. I have some of this lamb's ear left over from Walmart. This was just like one long continuous piece I got at Walmart, and I've used it for many projects, hence why it's all like cut up. But we're just going to kind of piece it together and it's going to be totally fine. You could kind of use any kind of greenery you wanted. I've seen people do it with just Spanish moss, but I think the greenery really adds something to it. And I really like the feel of the lamb's ear. So we're just going to use Dollar Tree eggs, the little pastel speckled eggs. Super easy, right out of the box. You're not going to have to do anything to them. So I picked up 2 packages of these from Dollar Tree, and we're going to use almost all of them. I'm just matching colors and alternating the sides so they're like kind of directly across from each other. The blue and the like green are really kind of very similar. I'm going to end up using all except for the white. I just didn't need that many, and I just really like the feel of the pastels. But if you had less greenery, you could make it a little tighter in there. And it's so easy because we're just going to sandwich the eggs inside of a second wreath form from the Dollar Tree. And you're just using the cages to hold all of that in there, and it really gives you a cool little effect, and so easy just using the wreath forms. So on the second one, I'm just going to sit it right side up, so the like concave surface is on the inside, and then attach it on there like that. So I'm just going to kind of line up the crossbars so it'll kind of make sense. And it's okay if some of the greenery pokes out. I think that looks really cool. And just kind of spacing out my eggs, making sure it's like fairly even. And then I just need to secure them. I thought the best way to secure the 2 cages together would just be some zip ties from Dollar Tree. So I don't want it to be real obvious though. So I'm going to go in and do like the middle row and just zip tie those 2 together. And I can always disguise that a little bit because we are going to fill this with Spanish moss as well. So I want it to be fairly secure. So I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side. Now, when you're pulling it together, you want it to be tight enough to like keep the eggs in place, but not so tight that it like starts to like squish the eggs. Just a medium amount of pressure. And since it's so large and it's going to go outside, I'm going to go ahead and do the top and bottom too, just by doing that middle one. So a total of 4 zip ties is what I'm going to use. Just trying to work on my spacing before I get the last one in there, because after that, it's going to be kind of hard to move them around. And you can do this with any of the eggs. They also have the gold ones from Dollar Tree. And then Target Dollar Spot has like the white speckled ones that kind of look like real eggs. That'd be pretty too. So I just cut off the rest of my zip ties. And I'm kind of tucking in my leaves a little bit just to kind of keep the shape, but I don't mind if they peek out a little bit. Now I want to fill it up to kind of make it look like a bird's nest. So I'm going to fill it up with just Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree. I just used 1 package and just kind of pulling out like a little section at a time and working it in the section in between the little Easter eggs. And you can kind of use that there. I'm kind of wrapping it around that zip tie. It helps to kind of disguise that too. I'm just trying to fill up like any of the empty space in there. And it really gave it a cool like nest-like feel. My son was a big fan of this project. He really liked it. And it was so easy. I mean, think about how much work a wreath can be. And just using like the empty wreath cages is a win-win. So 1 package of that Spanish moss is plenty. I'm just going to go ahead and use the whole thing. And it is going to make a little bit of mess on your work surface, so be aware. Now, I kind of wanted it to have like something hanging down in between, and I thought one of those little wooden bunnies from the Dollar Tree would be perfect. It's just the right size. These are just the white ones that they have, which would be really cute if you had like a colored front door, but I have a white front door, so I kind of need my little bunny to be a color. So I'm going to paint mine Caribbean blue, which is just an acrylic paint, just another pastel color. This goes great with Easter, but it also goes with my coastal beachy decor in my house. I have a lot of blue. And so I'm just going to go over it with 1 thin coat, and it actually allowed some of that white to peek through, and it kind of gave it a little bit of a distressed feel. So just a very thin coat. Super cute. I'm not going to decorate him any more with any other paint colors, but I thought it would be cute if he had a little bunny tail. So I'm just going to use a little pom-pom. I think I got this at the Target dollar spot. You can use whatever you've got. I know Dollar Tree has like pink ones like this and little craft stuff, and you could use, these are the pink ones. You could also use like the little snowballs. They have all different kinds of options. But I kind of like the pom-pom feel, and I kind of like the blue and the white. Goes with my colors. And so I'm just going to attach that to the bunny bum with hot glue. And that's really the only decor I'm going to do on there. You know, if you wanted to put your last name or something on there, that could be really cute as well. I'm just going to take some twine now, tying that off in the front of my little bunny. And then I'm just going to cut that twine and then string it up through the top of my wreath. So it's just going to kind of hang in there, but kind of going through in the middle so it's not too obvious. And then going back down through so like it is like attached to the top rail of it, and then tie that back off on the bunny. Just a really simple hanger, and it hung in there perfectly. It's just the right size. Now I wanted to do a bow too to make it nice and festive for Easter, and I'm going to use some of this light blue Easter ribbon they have from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to make a nice simple bow. It's nice and thick, and it's two-sided so you don't have to do any twisting. I just do 2 hoops on each side, measuring out a tail, cutting that down to size, and then just using a zip tie to make an easy peasy bow. This isn't like really wired very much, but I think it's big enough. It keeps its shape pretty well. So then I'm just going to pull down my second tail and fluff up this bow the best that we can. I thought a nice festive bow would look cute. I kind of wanted to do the bow on the top, but I felt like it kind of took away from the bunny ears. And so I'm actually going to hang this on the bottom. I'm just going to simply dovetail the ends of our bow. And that's what it looks like on top. That's what it looks like on the bottom. So we're just going to attach it on there with just a little bit of twine going across that wire hanger in the middle and just simply tying it on. Now I was trying to decide what I wanted to decorate that with more. You could use like Easter egg, any like the little wood cutouts from the Dollar Tree would be really cute on there as well. I kind of wanted like a nest feel, and I did have a little bird's nest left over just from, I have no idea where I got this, but it'd probably be pretty easy to make with Spanish moss if you were to wind it in a circle like that and you had some little eggs to put in there. I thought that would be cute though. So I'm just going to hot glue that in the center of the bow to finish off this cute little Easter wreath. It's really a nice size wreath, and I think this is going to look really cute on my front door for Easter. So just making sure my hot glue is dry because that nest is a little bit larger than something I would normally glue on there. So I am going to reinforce it with a little bit more hot glue, and that's all there is to this DIY. I really like all the pastel colors. I think they're so pretty for spring. And this is how it looks hanging on my door. Okay, our next DIY, I'm going to use one of these little galvanized metal buckets that they have all the time at Dollar Tree. And I thought we could make a little carrot bucket, like little greenery plant, right? So the handle is kind of in my way, and I did not really want to remove it. So to kind of deal with it, I'm just going to wrap it in twine. This is that thicker twine from Walmart. You could kind of use whatever you want. In the end, you're not going to be able to see this too much, but I wanted it to be decorative in case you could see it. I want to make like a carrot pot and have greenery in the middle to make it look kind of like a carrot plant. Just kind of a little greenery display. It's not really a floral display. And so I'm just going to wind that all the way around the little metal handle until I get to the other end. I found that I could go around it like 3 or 4 times and then pull the tail loose without hitting too much resistance. I think I cut my twine a little bit longer than needed, which probably made it a little bit harder than it needed to be. And so I do start trimming it once I start getting to the end, realizing that I have more than enough twine. I always like cutting it longer though, because you don't want to run out for sure. But basically, I'm just trying to wrap it so tight that you can't even see the little metal in there. And we're going to work this where it's going to stand straight up, so it's not going to get in any of the way of the carrots. So I keep wrapping until I get to the very other end, and then I'm just going to tie it off like I did on the other end. No glue or anything for this, just tying it on both sides and then cutting off the excess twine. Now, the carrots I'm going to use are the little string wrapped carrots from the Dollar Tree. They have these in the small, these are kind of like the medium size ones. And I thought it'd be really cute to line the little bucket with the carrots on the outside. So I'm going to start at the side, and I'm going to sandwich that handle in between 2 of the carrots, just going to stand them straight up, making sure they're not so long that they're going to interfere with this thing standing on its bottom. And see, when I sandwich the 2 there, it makes the handle stay up and kind of keeps the handle out of the way. But if you had a pot this small that didn't have the handle, that would work really great as well. I wanted something a little bit smaller than the carrot, and so the carrot was kind of the star of the show. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here on the other handle, putting 2 more carrots on this side. And just simply hot gluing those onto the side of the bucket, it was really easy to attach these. And then I'm just going to continue those little string wrapped carrots all the way around. I kind of measure out, I can fit 4 more. So let's see, that's a total of 12 carrots, I think, we're going to use to go all the way around this size little bucket. And if you couldn't find a galvanized metal one, you could always use a colored one as well. Sometimes they have like the mint green ones or other colors that are kind of monochromatic. They'd be fine too, because you're not going to be able to see very much. But I like the galvanized metal. So I got that side complete. Now I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side by gluing the other 4 carrots. And they almost fit perfectly. There is a tiny space in between. So I'm just trying to kind of space those out a little bit. And we have our little carrot bucket. This was so easy and it turned out just so cute. Now it's time to fill it. Isn't it cute? I love that idea. And I have one of those little foam greenery circles from the Dollar Tree. I love buying these for these little buckets from the Dollar Tree because they fit in there absolutely perfect. So just going to slide that in through the handle. And normally I would cover that up with moss or something, but the greenery that we're going to use is about the same color, so I didn't think it would really matter. I'm going to use some of this foliage that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I think it really looked like the top of like a carrot plant. I thought for a second about cutting what was on the carrots off, but I kind of like it as is, so I left those all alone. I'm going to use a total of 2 of these little greenery plants. They're just called foliage. But I'm going to cut them all apart first using some of those floral scissors from the Dollar Tree to make it easier to arrange. So the hardest part is just getting that tag off. And then we're just going to start building this out. I was a little worried about that green foam, but in the end, it really did just all blend together. Greens and greens. So I'm just going to go all the way around the edges. That was how far 1 Group of the foliage got me. And I was originally going to use 3, but 2 was plenty to fill this up. Once I go all the way around the edges, I'm just going to use the remaining pieces to fill in the inside. And just kind of arranging it and making sure that it looks nice. I liked the fact that I didn't really have to cut them down in size very much. They fit in there just perfectly. And let me show you how this cute little carrot basket turned out. I guess it's called a carrot plant. I think it looks so fun for Easter. And here's how it turned out. Isn't it cute? Okay, next DIY, I wanted to DIY this cute little bunny from the Dollar Tree. These are like that white wood look, but I wanted to kind of decorate mine and make it fun for spring. So, have you guys seen this new burlap they have at the Dollar Tree? They have lots of designs. We're going to be using lots of it today. This is the burlap with like the turquoise polka dots all over. I think it's so cute. I think they also had this with pink polka dots. They also had like a striped that we'll be using later today. There is a daisy one that I used in my bee video. And then I've seen pictures that there's a bee one as well. But every store I've been to that's had them, all of the bee ones are missing. Somebody's went through and bought them all. Because you know, bees are popular. So I'm just using a yellow Sharpie so it's not real obvious to kind of draw that out. It was probably a mistake. I thought it would be like a less intimidating color, but it did make it a little bit more difficult to cut out. But I just drew that on the back of the burlap and definitely going to cut this one down to size before attaching it to it because, you know, burlap can be a little bit tricky to cut because this is like real burlap, like the burlap that frays and such. So I'm just going to do my best and try to cut this out. I kind of try to do it on like the flat part of the fabric so it wouldn't roll up too much, but it's still kind of rolled up on me. You might want to iron it first. It might make your cutting a little bit easier, but we're gonna power through and make this work. I wanted to cover the little bunny in this fabric because I thought it looked like, you know, really fun for spring, and it's going to kind of go with my coastal farmhouse vibe in my house. So I did a pretty good job of cutting it out, considering it was rolling up on me. And we're just going to Mod Podge that to our little bunny. What I want to do is make a cute little like bunny planter with this. And it turned out really cute. So first step is Mod Podge. So again, I'm going to use like a rather thick amount since we are, you know, attaching fabric. And then just laying that down. I found that it kind of wanted to come up more than I thought. I was kind of having to hold it down, as you can see. It was really not wanting to stick. So I was like, that's okay. I'm going to Mod Podge over the top as well. So just working like one half at a time, I just Mod Podged over the top of it as well. And then that totally made it stick down. It probably had something to do with the fact that it was rolling up on me. But I'm so glad Dollar Tree decided to get these cute little burlaps, and they have really been bringing it. Like I've been finding some really high-end florals there, like lamb's ear and stuff like that, that I was just so excited about. So we got it all on there. I kind of like the frayed look because it looks like a fluffy bunny to me, but I do trim up any areas that I kind of cut wrong, but I don't really mind the fraying too much. So we're just going to go with it. Now I'm going to use one of these little wood crates from the Dollar Tree with the little holes in the sides, but it doesn't matter which one. And I'm just going to paint mine white on the front and both sides, because that's basically the only place you're going to be able to see it. And then on the top all the way around. I'm not going to bother getting in the inside because I don't think you're going to be able to see it when we fill it up. Now, we're going to fill this with carrots, so I thought it would be cute to use some of these little wood carrots from the Dollar Tree to kind of decorate the front of it instead of putting a word on there. But you could totally use like a paint pen and like write bunny bait or carrots and a price or something on there. That'd be really cute as well. I just wanted something a little bit more abstract. So I always like to work odd numbers, so I'm going to do 3 of these little guys. And I am just going to simply paint them really quickly with some paint pens. I always get these Sharpie paint pens at Target, and I've noticed that they just clearance them all off at my store. I don't know why. They're only going to be carrying like a more expensive brand at my store now, which is a bummer because I really like these. I think they're really easy to work with. So now that we got them all painted, we can just glue them onto the front. I thought I would do one straight up and like the ones on the side, like kind of, you know, leaning to a side, just for a little variety. And then I want to attach that like the little bunny is holding it. But first I wanted to decorate the bunny a bit. I'm going to use some of the spring felt flower garland from the Dollar Tree, just because I wanted to do a little decoration for the bunny's ear, just for fun. So these flowers are so cute. We're going to have more DIYs with these today. Absolutely adorable. Now they do have twine that kind of goes inside the flower, so it's a little tricky to trim it off. So make sure when you're trimming that off, you don't accidentally cut your felt flowers. But I just did like a little pink flower for its ear. You could also do a bow or something like that, but I like the flower. I thought it looked nice for spring. And then I kind of want to attach the little planter box to the front of my bunny, kind of like that. It's going to serve 2 purposes. It's going to be a little planter box, and it's going to act as a stand. Now, I didn't really care for the color of orange that I used on my carrots. I'm just touching it up with a lighter color of orange, just because the colors I'm trying to go with today are all real kind of like lighter Eastery colors. And I thought that was a little harsh. Now, these are the carrots that we're going to use to fill it up. They have these every year at Dollar Tree. They are the little string wrapped ones. This year, I noticed that the tops of them are not real cut. Every year, the tops of them I've noticed are a little bit different. So I'm just going to kind of probably work some of my ones from last year in there too, just for a little bit of variety. And then we're simply going to take some Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree, put like a row in the back, a row in the middle, and a row in the front so that all of our little carrots will stand up. I decided to use Spanish moss instead of reindeer moss because of the brown color. I thought that would look more like dirt, but you could use whatever you have. It'd be cute either way. Just trying to fill it up accordingly. And then I think this foliage from the Dollar Tree kind of looks like the tops of carrots, and the little string carrots I don't really think have tops of carrots. So I thought it'd be fun just to put like 3 of these little sprigs of this foliage from the Dollar Tree in there, just to kind of add a little bit more of an authentic looking carrot touch, if you know what I mean. So I do 1 on each side, and then I just do 1 in the middle. And that Spanish moss does a good job kind of acting like, you know, a floral foam. You can kind of put that down inside it. So now we just need to attach this to the front of the bunny. I'm just going to do hot glue and then make sure I get it lined up perfectly with the bottom of our little burlap bunny. So it'll act as a stand and it's all going to sit right. Isn't this fun? I think this was a really fun project. So easy to do. You could probably get the little ones involved in a lot of these projects today because they were so easy. But look how cute that is and festive for Easter. You could even sit this outside, like on a table by your front door or something like that. I think it would hold up fairly well. And this is how it turned out. Our little bunny carrot planter. Okay, our next DIY is going to be really easy. I picked up one of these bicycle wreath forms from the Dollar Tree, and I was trying to think of some way to like kind of replicate like a bicycle tire around it because it's just the frame, there's no tire. And so I picked up one of these little steering wheel covers from the automotive section at Dollar Tree, and I thought a steering wheel is about the same size. So I thought this could work. And so I'm just going to simply slide it on the edges. And at first I was thinking it was not going to be large enough to go all the way around it, but it was actually the perfect size. Just pull it tight and pull it around. And I got the white one because I thought that would look like a little white bicycle tire for like a little coastal Easter bike. And it worked perfect. How easy was that? We have a little bike tire. And then I found a really cute Easter sign that I want to put on the front, but I want to do a little greenery as well. I picked this up at the Target dollar spot for $5 the other day. It's like that same like lamb's ear, but it's already got greenery. It's got pastel Easter eggs on it. It's all wired and ready to go. For $5, I could not resist. It's on there pretty good and tight, but basically I'm just going to use this entire garland to wrap it around there, and you could kind of use whatever you've got, but I think that it added a little extra something special to it. I'm going to try to see how much I can cover here. I just kind of wire it on. I end up not doing that, going around it like that, but I'm just kind of measuring out to see if one row was enough, but I kind of thought that I needed to use all of it. Kind of like that. So we're going to go with that, easy peasy. I am going to cut it in half just to make it easier to attach it. So I just cut the wire. And then I'm just going to wire this to itself to create one ring. It might be easier to just wrap that around than to trim it, but I did trim that one down. And then I'm going to do the same thing here with the second one. That way I could put the eggs exactly where I wanted them, because there was one section of the tire that I really didn't want eggs because I want to put a Dollar Tree sign there. So I'm going to kind of work with it until it looks just like I like it. So the section there on the bottom right doesn't really have any eggs, so that's going to be perfect. Now I'm just going to tie the two wreaths together with some twine, and then I'm also going to just string that and tie that around our little faux bicycle tire. And then I'm also going to use that just to make a hanger just by tying a knot in the end. It's going to attach the greenery on there, and it serves as a wreath hanger. Now you could use this as a wreath or just a wall hanging. I think I'm just going to use mine as a wall hanging, but I thought it was a little fun touch. I always like bicycles for spring. So that's what we have so far. And then check out this cute little bunny, a bicycle Easter sign that I got at Dollar Tree the other day. It's riding like a little blue bicycle with Easter eggs in its basket, baby bunnies, got a carrot on there. I just take the hanger off. I'm also going to take off the little hanging Happy Easter sign that was hanging below it. I just really want the bicycle. And it's a little large to attach to this, but I think we can make it work. Just kind of putting it to the bottom and to the right. I don't want to cover up like the shape of the bicycle wheel in there. I want you to be able to see that so you can tell what it is. Otherwise, I would probably put it like right in the center. So to attach it, it's pretty lightweight. I'm just going to use hot glue and attach it to the steering wheel cover just by hot gluing both ends of the bike on there. And this DIY was just really easy to put together. I think that's all it needs. I'm going to add a little bit more hot glue under there to secure it. But I love the feel of that, and I love that garland from the Target dollar spot. So fun. And my steering wheel cover idea was a success. You never know what you're going to find wandering around Dollar Tree. And let me show you how this cute little bike wheel, little wreath turned out. So cute. Again, we have the pastel colors, but it's completely different feel than the first Easter wreath that we did. If you're enjoying today's Easter DIYs, be sure to hit that like button. It always helps my videos do better here on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, the next DIY, I'm going to use a long piece of foam that I picked up at Dollar Tree. And I thought it would be really fun to try to make a carrot gnome. I thought a carrot is like the shape of a gnome hat or a gonk. And so I thought we could try it, right? And the foam I thought would be just the right size. It's going to serve a couple purposes, you'll see. I just measured about halfway down the center, and then using a ruler, I am just kind of carving a line in the foam with my pen so I'll know exactly where to cut it. Now, this is one of the little pool noodle knives from the Dollar Tree, but you can kind of use whatever you have, but this did work pretty well. And we're just going to saw this down into a triangle. When I first thought about making a carrot gnome, I was going to use, I have some of those wreath forms with the witch's hat left over from Halloween. But in the end, I decided this would work better, and I wanted to give you an option that was something that was being sold at the stores. And, you know, not everybody's going to have a witch hat like laying around. So I carved that down, and we have our little carrot. Now I need to cover it with fabric, and I picked up some of this felt from the Dollar Tree, and they have a nice bright orange piece in there that I think is going to be just perfect. I kind of thought about using some orange burlap to wrap around there, but I thought this might be the easiest route. So it's just the right length to cover it, and I want to be able to cover the sides of the carrot as well. And you can see that greenery off to the side that we just used in the last carrot DIY. We're going to use that to actually make the gnome beard, and this just turned out so cute. So I flipped it over and I used hot glue to attach that to the back. But you know how hot glue and foam reacts? It really kind of melts it poorly. So I thought I had it attached, and then it started popping back off. So my trick usually to hot glue to foam is just to use Dollar Tree masking tape. And that's what I switch to after I do finally get this glued down. It just works way better, and then it prevents the foam from being melted. So the other side, I'm going to tape that down. And painter's tape could probably work the same as this. And I'm going to wrap that around just by hot gluing that to the tape. I do have a little bit of excess fabric, but no big deal. Once I get it glued down to the back, I can just trim that off. And that sheet of felt was just about the perfect size. So I cut off that little triangle there. And we have our little carrot. I'm going to cut off the two corners on the bottom. Now, the top part, you could still kind of see the foam through there. So I just trimmed off the very end, and I do have a few, little tiny scrap pieces of that felt. And so I just cut down a little piece and just kind of sandwiched it in there just to kind of cover that exposed foam. Now it's time to make the beard. So we're going to use that same foliage. I think this really looks like a carrot. So I want the gnome to look like an upside down carrot. I want the carrot greens to be its beard and the carrot to be his hat. And it actually was so easy to put this together, and it just turned out so cute. So again, I'm just cutting all of that greenery off. I'm going to use two for this one as well. And just cutting them down. Trying to get brave and cutting more than once. And now it's time to build the beard. And this is where the foam comes in handy, because you can just stick it right into the foam to start building the beard. I'm going to kind of do a back row first, just kind of spacing those out and sliding those into the foam. If you didn't have foam, you could always make this with foam board as well, but you would need to be gluing these down to the back of it. So I thought the foam would make it easier, and I really liked how easy this was. I just used the remaining pieces to kind of do the front of the beard. Not as many pieces on the front, but I think 2 of those little floral arrangements are plenty of that greenery. So we've got the hat, we've got the beard. Now we need a nose. I was thinking first about using an Easter egg, but I really kind of wanted a round, normal, like little gonk nose. So I'm just going to use a wood bead that I have. I get those larger ones like that on Amazon, and they're always available in my shop below. I'm just going to leave it like the natural wood. There's so many options that you could use for a nose. You could use a knob, anything kind of round, circular. I'm just going to hot glue that to the greenery right there in front of the hat. And then to kind of do like a brim of the hat to kind of, seal up the bottom of the carrot and go over the nose a tiny bit. I thought some of this green mesh ribbon from the Dollar Tree would be perfect. You guys see me use this all the time for like a fishing net thing, but I thought the green would be really cute for spring. So I just cut a piece down to size. I'm going to kind of fold it in half and double it up. So you're going to kind of be able to see through it, but I think that's fine. And then I'm just going to have to tape the back because, again, we're going to hot glue to that foam again. I don't want that to melt or be difficult. And then just wrap that around, hot gluing that to the back. Super easy. And it kind of, gives you a nice little brim, but it also kind of goes with the greenery feel of the beard. Now I want to make a hanger for the back. And so I'm just going to use a little piece of Dollar Tree twine. Simply going to loop it and knot the end to make a little hanger that we can attach to the back of our carrot. This would be really cute too if you wanted to do it on a bigger scale for like a front door wreath. So I just attached that to the felt with hot glue. And I love him. He's so cute. I did go ask my son what he needed, and he said it needs lines like a carrot. Carrot has like the little stringy looking lines all over it when it's fresh from the garden. And I thought, oh, I could really replicate that with some of that Dollar Tree twine that we used for the hanger, just by gluing it to the back and simply wrapping it around my carrot. It provided a little bit of detail, and it probably is going to actually help keep that felt on there as well. Just kind of spacing that out. The last piece, I kind of feed it through that green ribbon that we have so I can kind of get it all the way to the edge. I think that was the perfect final touch. I'm going to hot glue that to the back of that masking tape back there. And that's all there is to this little carrot gnome DIY. I absolutely love this little guy. He's so cute. I got the idea for this because I had made something kind of similar in the fall with leaves, like leaves as a beard. And I was trying to think, what could make a cute gnome? And I was like, a carrot. A carrot's perfect. So it really kind of looks like an upside down carrot. So fun and whimsical. So this is how it looks hanging in my home for Easter. Isn't he cute? I just absolutely love that idea. I hope you do too. Okay, I wanted to make a welcome sign for my entryway to go on my table next to my front door. So I picked up one of these great signs from the Dollar Tree. They have these in a couple different styles and words, but I love the shape of it, and it's a really nice size sign. I'm just going to decorate the back of mine just so I don't have to worry about covering up any of those words. I don't bother finishing the back, but usually I do. So if that bothers you, you can always paint or cover the back of it with some contact paper or something like that. And then we're going to use some more of this great burlap. I love it so much, and then I used it all today. So I'm not going to have any more. I'm going to have to get more now. So I just lay this on the back of it. This is the burlap with the white polka dots. I almost wish I'd picked up some of the burlap with the pink polka dots, because I think that would be really cute on this DIY as well. But I just cut the shape. It's pretty simple. It's just like a giant arch, but it does have like a little cutout at the bottom for like the sign part. And I thought we could make a really cute little Easter welcome sign instead of the welcome to your home sign that's on there. Just cutting this down to size. And we're going to put this over like, the back of that sign, which is that just brown color, which is great because, the burlap, you can kind of see through it. And it's going to give me that nice like brown finish. No words or pictures or anything behind it. And then we're going to use a thick layer of Mod Podge to secure this down, just like we did on our other DIYs. Making sure that you get from side to side. You don't want any of this coming up. And then smoothing this out. As you can see, it was rolling up on me a little bit as well. But just like with the other ones, I'm going to try to secure it. And then I'm going to go over the top with more Mod Podge to make sure that it's good and down. And then as you can see, I'm going to use some of those little Easter purses from the Dollar Tree. And I thought we'd do like some really cute, like little seagrass looking Easter eggs on this. It's going to go with my coastal decor on my entryway table. I have like a shell collection and stuff like that. It's going to go with that vibe, but it's going to give me a little fun dose of Easter as soon as you walk in the door. And you can make this a hanging sign. I'm going to make mine like a sign that sits on a shelf. So once I get that all on there and glued down, I just make sure it's good and dry. And then I don't mind the fraying too much, but I do try to clean it up a little bit if I need to. If there's like a lot of loose strings, or if you can see like any of that Sharpie from when I drew the design out, just to make it look a little bit better. And then I picked up those little purses in pink, blue, and then just the regular like ivory cream color. And I thought it'd be really fun to decorate these little ornaments from the Dollar Tree. They're just little wood eggs. And I always like to work with odd numbers. So I'm thinking like 5 are going to fit on there nicely. So I just grab 5 of those little wood eggs. And then we're going to cover all of these with these little cute little purses. You guys know that I use these like year round, especially this color, because I think it looks like seagrass. You can cover anything with it. I'm just going to do one in this color because it's not quite as colorful. So I just cut out a little piece of fabric on the front of that purse. I can save the back for another DIY. And then just holding it on there, I trim it down to size. You could glue it first, but it was such a small egg that it was pretty easy to hold it tight. Now I'm going to do 2 of the little pink seagrass eggs. So I just have the whole purse there, as you can see. So when I cut the egg out, I'm actually going to get 2 pieces. Easy peasy. And then I love that bright blue color too. So again, just sitting it on top of the purse, cutting 2 out at a time. And we're going to have enough of this seagrass to cover all 5 of our little Easter eggs. And then the final step for this little Easter sign is going to be that cute little bunny yardstick that you see off there to the side. I think that totally goes with my coastal vibe. So I thought Mod Podge might not be strong enough to secure the seagrass to the wooden eggs. So I'm just using hot glue, and it actually worked out really well. It didn't really feed through it or anything like that. And it's not visible. You can always trim it up if you kind of got like a little bit of a jagged cut at the end, but I'm just trying to line mine up and cover, most of the egg. So there's our 2 little pink ones. Just trimming them to make them look nicer. This one's going to be like that tannish cream color. Isn't that cute? I love wrapping stuff with that. I've done so many DIYs, including Easter DIYs with that. And then we're going to do 2 of the blue ones, which is a nice dose of color on this DIY. This is a yardstick. I simply just popped the yardstick off the back just to make it easier to store. And then I'm just going to cut the hanger off the top. They have these like in like the little chick as well. And they're so cute. The painting on them is so cute. There's no glitter or anything like that. And I think the colors work really well for the colors that we're using on this project. So we have our 5 little eggs and our Easter bunny, and we can start putting this little welcome sign together. I had this pretty good and wet, so it did take a little bit to get it dry, but I thought we could just kind of like stagger the little Easter eggs all along the bottom like that. Super cute little Easter touch. And then we could have the little welcome bunny like sitting here on the top. Such an easy way. I love using yardsticks from the Dollar Tree to decorate with, and the wooden ones that are distressed like this with the wood grain through them are always my favorite. Then I thought it would be cute to use some of this green ribbon from the Dollar Tree to kind of make it look like the little Easter eggs are sitting in grass. I thought it'd be cute to like maybe do a couple layers of it underneath the eggs like that, just to add a little bit of color. You could always do a little bit of reindeer moss as well if you kind of want that grass look underneath your Easter eggs. So I'm just going to double it up. So I'm just going to cut a piece down that's going to be, long enough to fold like that. And it's going to give me a little bit more of that grassy texture. I decided to just let the eggs glue it down instead of trying to glue down that crazy fabric. And that actually worked pretty well. So I'm going to start kind of just in the middle. Put some hot glue on that, and as you can see, that also glues that ribbon to our sign with a little bit less work. I do the middle egg straight up, and then the other eggs I'm going to kind of alternately tilt just for a little bit of variety. We'll do the blues, and then we'll do like the pinks on the side, kind of tilting the other way. I think these turned out so cute. And it was really easy to put the sign together. I like the size of it. It's really large. And then we have just enough room to attach the bunny here with his little ears overhanging the top. So again, I'm just using hot glue to secure that, pushing that down on the sign, trying to keep it as flat as possible to make sure it is glued to the board behind the burlap. Now, I don't like the little hole in the top where the little hanger was, so I'm just going to take some Dollar Tree twine and just tie off a very simple little finger bow. I always like to do that. It's easier than trying to repair those holes and make it match. And it adds a cute little decorative touch, so why not? So we'll just glue that right on. Now I just need a way to make it stand up. So I'm going to use some of this Dollar Tree craft wood. You can use whatever you want if you are doing the same, like making it stand up. Or you could skip that last step and just reattach some twine to the hanger and make it a hanging sign. Be really cute either way in your entryway. Or even on your front door, it'd be really cute. So I do hot glue, and I don't put it all the way to the bottom. I do leave a little bit of room. It's kind of hard to see, but that way it'll tilt back slightly and it will sit properly. If you do it even, it's going to kind of be tippy. But this worked out really well. Stands up, and I think it's really cute. What do you guys think about our little welcome bunny with his little grass full of Easter eggs? Again, I'm loving the color and I'm loving the texture. That burlap is a new favorite, and you guys know I already love that. See those little seagrass like bags. Check out this cute little bunny. I love him because he's got blue overalls on. I don't really like the glitter, but I thought we would give him a little makeover and make a little porch sitter for my front porch for Easter. He's nice and long, and I thought we could just DIY him a little bit. So I just popped off the top of his hat, any of the like little pieces that were bumped out there. He had a little hand that was like, holding a carrot. Be careful when you pull it off, though. It's really easy to tear the paper that was on there, which I did, but I'm just using some of that spray adhesive from the Dollar Tree to kind of glue that back down. And basically, I like the bunny. I think his shape's great. I just don't want the glitter on there. It's not really going to go with my vibe. But if you like it, this DIY is going to be even easier for you. So I'm just sanding it down a little bit, trying to take off just some of the excess glitter that's on there, and then we can decorate this little guy. I love to kind of take what they've got and kind of add my own touches and make it more my style. So I got it cleaned up a little bit. I'm not going to have a hanging bunny though, so I am going to just kind of fill in just the little holes on the top of the ears with a little spackle just to clean that up a little bit so we don't have some holes on the top of his ears. I gave that a quick dry till it turned white, and then I'm just going to sand off the excess spackle. And then I wanted to add some burlap details. So I'm going to use some of this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And basically we're going to cover his little bunny ears with the burlap to kind of take away from that glitter that was on there before and kind of add like a coastal detail. So I just cut that down to size and cut it in a rounded shape so it'll fit perfectly on his little ear. And then I'm just going to Mod Podge that on. Since it's fabric, I thought Mod Podge would work well. So I really want like a lot of like blue details mixed with the burlap. It's going to go kind of with the coastal farmhouse vibe of my house, but you could decorate yours any way you like. I really like how the burlap looks on its ears though, compared to how the glitter looked. So the other half, I'm just going to cut that down to size as well. Simply rounding the ear. And it's okay if you can see like a little bit of the pink glitter through it. It just definitely tones it down a lot. And this is the perfect size to sit on a table next to your front door. Makes a perfect porch sitter for your front porch for Easter. So I got that second one on there. I'm just going to use some Mod Podge to glue that down and make sure it's good and stuck. Now for like the paws and the nose, I don't really want to cover those. They're a little too small to cover with burlap. And so I just tone those down with some more of that matte Mod Podge just to kind of make them not quite so sparkly. And then I'm going to reattach the little hat here, sealing in those little burlap ears. I did rough it up a little bit around the edges with my sanding sponge just to kind of give it a more rustic vibe. Now, I don't really like the little purple bow tie, so I thought we would use that same burlap ribbon and just cut down a couple pieces of that, kind of layering them together so you can't really see through it, tying that off in the middle with twine, and just going to make a simple little burlap bow tie to kind of add to what was already on there. So that looks good. It's okay if it's a little bit frayed. It's going to kind of add to the charm. Just going to glue that on there. And we're going to keep working down our bunny, kind of replacing the areas that I don't like that kind of I think need a new touch with some of that burlap. Just adds a lot more charm and character to this little bunny. So again, he has a little purple pocket. So I'm going to use that as a guide to cut down that ribbon as well. And you can use whatever kind of burlap you have for this. They have like the actual burlap rolls at the Dollar Tree now. That would be really cute as well. So just gluing on a little pocket. He's got a blue like gingham shirt. I love that. And I love his little like blue overalls. And then the only other thing there is he does have a patch as well. I thought it'd be really cute to replace the little glitter carrot that he has with one of these little yarn wrapped carrots from the Dollar Tree. This is kind of one of the bigger ones, and I just kind of glue that on there on top of where the carrot would be. And then we can reattach his little bunny, I guess, paw, hand to the carrot to make it hold it. And just another fun little detail to make it more 3D. And then just using a scrap piece of that burlap, we're going to finish off that little patch on his knee and glue that on. And see how cute he is becoming? I love him. He's so fun. Now I wanted to find a way to make him stand up for my front porch. And so I found a really good idea that worked really well and it was so easy. One of these little paper towel holders from the kitchen department at the Dollar Tree, I thought would make a perfect stand. It's skinny, he's skinny, so I can kind of hide it just in the back of him like that. It's got a base and it's kind of strong and heavy where it's going to make him stand up and not blow over. I just need a way to attach it to the back. And so I just do a bead of hot glue down both sides and just stick that to the back of that. Look how perfect that is. It's like it's made for it. And then I'm also going to use a little bit more hot glue to make sure that it stays on there. Super easy, just some fun details on this little guy. And this is how he turned out. My little bunny shelf sitter for spring, or porch sitter, I guess. Holding a little carrot. The next set of DIYs are going to be Easter DIYs that I use to decorate my coffee bar for Easter. But honestly, you could use a lot of these DIYs with any decor. And my theme was just pastels, a really sweet Easter theme for this one. I designed this little watercolor Easter bunny, and I will include a link to the free printable in the description below this video. And for this sign, I'm going to use the sign I got at Target Dollar Spot. I got it on clearance there, but Dollar Tree has the same sign, same size. This one just kind of got ridges in it, and which I don't really want, so I'm going to have to kind of cover those up. Mine was a little splintery, so I'm going to give the frame a quick sanding. And we're going to use that cardstock for the back of the image, and it's just a quick, easy way to make a Dollar Tree sign that looks really, really good. So I'm going to do 2 sheets of cardstock instead of just one. That way my cardstock won't go down into the ridges on the back on that one. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim them down. These little signs from the Dollar Tree and the Dollar Spot are almost exactly the same as a sheet of paper, but slightly smaller. So I'm just going to use my paper cutter to trim these down just a little bit until they fit perfectly. I'm going to go ahead then and just Mod Podge these in. I'm going to have to do one piece of cardstock at a time. And I'm going to kind of dry them in between too. I want to make sure that none of the paper gets too wet because that's when it really starts to wrinkle when you're using Mod Podge. But I do want to make sure I get a nice coat down so it is good and stuck down. I like to take a dry paper towel, kind of push that down, make sure there's no bubbles. That also can dry up any glue that may have squeezed out the edges. And I had so much trouble making this video for you today. I actually had to do this DIY twice because my camera was deleting everything, stopping and deleting everything again. So I actually had to go to Best Buy and buy a whole new camera. So hopefully it works well. So I just put another coat of Mod Podge on top of the cardstock that I had there, and then just laid my little image of the Easter Bunny on top. I think he's so cute. And I really love this image. I might have to sell this image too, but I will include it for a free printable for my Crafty Beach Bum viewers. And then I like to go over the top of mine with a very thin coat just to seal it, make sure that, I don't get anything on it. And it kind of gives it kind of like a canvas coat. But again, I don't want to get the cardstock too wet. So just doing a very thin coat of the Mod Podge all over. And we have a beautiful little Easter sign. I'm going to lean mine on my coffee bar against the wall. And so I don't really need a hanger or anything like that, but let me show you how it looks on my coffee bar. Isn't he so cute? I just love that face. And so that is the bottom shelf of my coffee bar. We're going to get started with that. And for the next DIY, I picked up one of these little Easter signs from the Dollar Tree, and I love these little metal stands. I'm going to use that to make it a standing sign to go on the shelf of my coffee bar. So this is a hanging sign, but we're just going to kind of make it a standing sign. I love this. I think it's so cool with all of the wood beads already on there. The color I'm going to use is Cloudless by Apple Barrel. It's just a very soft blue. And what I was going for on this coffee bar was I wanted to do pastel colors and I wanted to use a lot of like flocked items. I think that's going to look really cute for Easter this year. So I'm just going over like the inside between all the wood beads first. And it's kind of impossible not to get some on the Easter bunny. So we might as well make him blue right now anyway. And then I'm going to go around and do the outer edges too. I kind of have to do all of the wood beads and go in between them as well. Just pretty much making everything blue in this case. And then I want to go in, make the bunny rabbit and the wood beads white. So they'll kind of pop out on that sign and go with my little pastel color scheme. I was doing like light blues, light pinks, light yellows. And I love it. I think it looks so cute for Easter. I love pastels for Easter. So once I got that painted, now it's going to be, my outside edge looks a little bit bad where some of the paint came over. So you know what? I'm going to go and just paint the edges. I don't really have to do anything with the back on this, but I thought it would look a little bit cleaner if I went ahead and did the very edges all around the circle. But I love the sign. I think it looks really high end. Now, painting the little bump out pieces is always challenging. I started with like a little makeup sponge first, but I realized that it really was not saving me from getting any on the sign. So I switched to a little brush and it's kind of inevitable. I just kind of try to clean it up with a baby wipe when I get some on the sign itself. I'll have to go back in and touch it up with a little bit of blue paint. Normally, I like to distress things, and so I don't really want to distress the back of this sign because I really want that blue and white to pop. So I'm just going to have to touch it up. And I also have to cover up the blue that was on the bunny to really make that white pop against it. So it is going to require just a couple coats to make sure I have good coverage here. He kind of has like a little swirl on him, which you could paint. I thought about going in with like a paint pen and kind of highlighting that, but I decided just to leave it all white. And then I just went in and touched up the blue anywhere where I kind of got paint where I shouldn't have. It's kind of impossible on those signs. And then I kind of want the white beads to pop, so I'm actually just going to distress them. So I'm just using like a chunky brush and some white in one direction, just catching the beads, not the background. And then I just reverse direction and distress the other way. It's going to be a very distressed paint job on the wood beads doing it that way, but I like the difference, the contrast. Now to make it a standing sign, all I have to do is attach this little Dollar Tree sign to the back. Now, normally I wouldn't like to use metal on or hot glue with metal, and you can use a better glue, but this really only needs to stay up through Easter, and so I think it will be fine. So I just put a lot of hot glue on the back of it, set it on the back of the sign, just like that. And it does have a little hole for where the hanger was. So I did go back and just tie like a simple bow here out of some twine and put that on the very top. And this is how it turned out. Okay, let's keep it up. Look at this great little bunny that I found at Dollar Tree Plus. I couldn't believe this was a Dollar Tree product. It was $5, a little sisal bunny. And you know what? These things are so difficult to make. I've made them here on my channel. I can't believe this is only $5. He's so cute. He's a little busy with this little Easter egg, so I'm going to remove that. I love the blue flower and I love the little butterfly net in his hand. He is a little bit fragile. The Dollar Tree employees were saying that they were breaking in the store, so they were a little bit hard to find at my store, but I'm so glad I found one because I think he is absolutely adorable. And here he is on the coffee bar. I kind of put him next to that sign that we just DIY'd. And I think he's so cute. The little pastel blue flower in his hand. I didn't have to do anything to him. And you know what? I kind of avoid some of the Dollar Tree Plus stuff now that we actually have a Dollar Tree Plus because I'm like, there's nothing to DIY. But I did want to show him to you because I was going to include him on my coffee bar. I love these little chunky Easter signs they have this year. They have bunnies, they have eggs, and they have carrots. So I thought we could do something fun. This one only sits right one way, that way. And I thought we could cover it with pastel. I did wanted pastel orange, so I designed a pastel orange gingham print, and I will include a link to a printable if you want to recreate this. And I thought we would just cover the carrot with the light orange gingham so it'll stay with the pastel theme. So I just put it on the back of the cardstock and just sketched it out. Now, I was trying to decide if I was going to cover just the carrot or the carrot and the greenery with it. And when I started, I just went ahead and sketched the whole thing out. It is a little bit of an intricate cut going around that greenery. And at first, I was going to cut the whole thing out. And then I was thinking about it while I was cutting it out. And I'm like, you know what? I can just leave the greenery, that beautiful wood, and just cover the carrot part and the orange gingham. And that's what I ended up doing. So I went to start cutting it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? Let's just cut the carrot. And I'm glad that I did. You could cover the whole thing, but again, I mean, that part of the carrot wouldn't be orange anyway. So I thought about painting it too, but I kind of liked the look of the wood that's already on there. And I thought that would go well with my wood shelves above my coffee bar. So we're just going to do the carrot part. And I think that turned out really cute. If you don't have scrapbook paper, you can always create your own. And that's what I do when I create these printables and share them with you guys. I always like to print them on cardstock because they Mod Podge really well with no wrinkling. So we put a layer of Mod Podge down and lay the cardstock right on top. I did a pretty good job of cutting this to size, and I'm just going to use a paper towel to kind of smooth that out and start the drying process on that. If you don't get it on there just perfectly, or if your cut hangs over just a little bit, you can always just do a sanding block around the edges to give you a perfect cut. And then I'm going to seal it because I don't want it to get discolored or anything like that. So I just put a thin coat of Mod Podge over the top of it. And that is it. I'm not going to do anything else to it. I think that is perfect. And I think that's going to be a nice shorter piece that I can put on the front of my shelf of my coffee bar. So I kind of put that in front of the little watercolor bunny to fill out my bottom shelf of my coffee bar. I have 2 floating shelves that I have hanging on the wall above my coffee bar area that I DIY'd. I did that a couple of years ago. I do have a video. I took a dresser I think I got for $12 from Goodwill and created my own coffee bar in my house. I had not a lot of room for it, but I was able to pull it off. Now for the flocked items, I found this little chick for $1 at the Target dollar spot. They have them in different colors, like light mint green and stuff like that. I picked up a little yellow chick and I thought this would be a really cute item to go right there in front of that bunny. And you know what? It's going to fill out the rest of my coffee bar shelf right there. I'm trying not to go too busy with this one, but I think he looks really cute. And we're going to have some other flocked items today. So I think he's going to fit right in. Isn't he adorable for $1? I mean, come on. I love it. And that's how he looks sitting there in front of my bunny. Now, I'm going to use some of the giant flocked eggs from the Dollar Tree. Can you believe these are only $1.25? I love them. They're ornaments, so they already have hangers on them. I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm actually going to use these to make a little garland to go along that shelf. And I always use odd numbers when I make garlands, but I have an odd number of coffee mugs hanging with it, and so I kind of needed to do even numbers. So we're going to do a blue one on each end, a yellow and pink inside, and another blue one. And I just take a piece of twine and just simply put the hangers on it. Couldn't get any easier than that. We're going to have these dangled down from the shelf. And these are my coffee mugs. This is my Rae Dunn collection of Easter coffee mugs. I have 3 of them. So I'm going to have those hanging in between those little flocked eggs. I didn't want to cover them up because they're super cute on their own. So this is how it turned out. I just attach my twine with hot glue actually on my shelf itself there. Works out pretty well. I clean up the excess hot glue there from time to time. And then I have a bar there where I'm hanging my coffee mugs. They kind of are staggered in between each one of the little flocked eggs. And I love those eggs. I picked up quite a few of those because I'm a big fan. Now for the next shelf, I finally found the tulips from Dollar Tree and I was so excited. These are pink tulips and they're made out of like a fuzzy fabric and they're so pretty. They are getting some Dollar Tree florals that are just like really high end. I was so impressed with those. And then I thought we would just DIY a little vase. And I picked up one of these clear glass vases from the Dollar Tree with all of the bumps all over it. And I'm going to use this. It's not quite white, it's sand dollar. It's a little off white. I thought we could try to spray paint it. Spray painting glass is an easy way to spray paint glass. So I'm just going to put my box up, give it a quick spray. Even though there's all those bumps and ridges on there, I was really able to get away with like one coat. I'm going to spin it around a little bit though, so that I can get the other side here and spray it down. And it really makes it kind of look like a ceramic vase. It makes it look way more high end. And the wall behind my coffee bar is like a white shiplap removable wallpaper. And so this is going to kind of go in with that color scheme. I didn't want to go too colorful for this one because I had so much color on other projects for the coffee bar today. And I needed a little bit more on the top, so I did spray the top to make sure it was even. And then I just used my heat gun to dry it. Easy peasy. I'm in my garage, so I don't really like spray painting in my garage, but if necessary, I will do it just to put it in a box. And so it turned out pretty cool. What do you guys think? An easy way to DIY those Dollar Tree vases. And the flowers are perfect. I don't have to do anything to them. Even the greenery looks nice. I just put it right down inside the vase and this is ready to go. I'm going to put this on the top shelf of my coffee bar. Beautiful pink tulips for Easter. I think they look so pretty and springy. And this is how they look up there. I'm going to pair them with a couple items to kind of do a little vignette up there. And I love how it turned out. It's so pretty. And you can really see the texture of that vase painted. And I really think spray painting is a lot easier. I know you can get glass paint and stuff like that, but it's a lot of work. And you saw how easy it was to spray paint it. So that's kind of my go-to method. Okay, I have another free printable for you guys I'll include down below. It says some bunny needs coffee. That's me. And I did it on a pink background. And I wanted to show you another way you can make your own DIY sign. If you can't find those wood signs at Dollar Tree, you can just pick up an 8x10 frame. So that's what I did. This is the plastic frame that looks like wood. I'm just going to go ahead and pop the glass out. As you can see, it's got like a great texture on it. Kind of looks like wood, even though it's plastic. But it's a little darker than what I want. So we're going to lighten this up with some of this. It's Beachcomber Beige by Apple Barrel. And we are just going to paint the frame. I don't mind if a little bit of the brown shows through, and especially like in the grooves of it, because I do want it to look like wood, but I definitely want to brighten it up. So I just go around and do a thin coat on the top and the outside of it. And I'm going to show you a way that you can actually use the glass in the frame to make a really easy DIY sign, very similar to what we did with the Easter Bunny, but a little bit smaller, so it'll be an 8x10. Which again, I'll include a link to the printable. If you just print it out 100% on cardstock, you can create it too. I sized it to 8x10. And it was still a little dark, so I went over mine with another coat to make sure it was nice. And I didn't want it to be colorful, but I did want it to be like a way lighter looking wood. And I think that turned out pretty good. We're going to set that aside to dry, and then I'm actually going to use the glass itself as a canvas to make a sign. Now, the first time I tried this, I was skeptical because I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but it actually worked great, and I've done it a lot on my channel here. And so I'm making sure that I had it sized perfectly, and the 8x10 did come out exactly the same size as the glass. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my printable. And then I'm like, why am I cutting this with my scissors? You know, your girl cannot cut a straight line. So let me grab my Cricut paper cutter. That'll make it a little bit easier. And we'll cut this down. I love this image that I designed. I think it's really cute, and I think it'll be a really nice dose of pink. Kind of tie into those pink tulips that we did up at the top of the coffee bar. And I just put the Mod Podge directly on the glass. And so we're just going to do a coat of Mod Podge all over. Just kind of working in one direction, making sure I have it kind of even and everything covered. And then we can just lay the cardstock printable right on top. And then I just use a paper towel again to push it down. And I do want to seal it too to make sure that nothing really happens to it because, you know, the cardstock is just paper, kind of acts as a sponge. I don't want it to get discolored or anything to happen to it. So I'm just going to seal it with a thin coat of Mod Podge all over. I definitely don't want to get it too wet. I don't want any wrinkling. So a thin coat, and then all I have to do is put it back in the frame. You don't even have to keep the back if you don't need it. I'm going to use mine as a leaning sign, so I don't need the back. But if you did need the hanger or the stand to stand yours up, you could always just pop the back on it that came with the picture frame. And another little $1.25 DIY. I think it turned out really cute. What do you guys think? And I will try to link my printer. A lot of you guys have been asking what printer I use. I have a great EcoTank printer that I got that I love because it doesn't take cartridges and it works really well. I'll try to link it in this video if I can remember to do that. And this is how it turned out. Our little Sun Bunny needs coffee sign. Super sweet, and definitely I love the pop of pink. And it's not too busy, just like a simple pair of like little Easter ears peeking out from the bottom. And I thought that was a fun expression since I'm doing a coffee bar. Most of these DIYs, though, you could put these just about anywhere, whether you have a coffee bar or not. Now, check out the flocked bunny that I found at Dollar Tree Plus. $3. They have these in different colors. I picked up the soft blue. He's so cute. He's already got like a little raffia bow. It's perfect. It doesn't need anything. I just trim mine up and kind of like offset it a little bit. But this is going to go great with all the other flocked items that we've used on the coffee bar. And it's going to be a little punch of pastel blue. And I think he's so cute. I love him. I stood him in between the Somebody Needs Coffee and the vase of tulips. And I think he looks so cute. I'm really loving having a Dollar Tree Plus this year. I can't believe all this fun stuff that they have. It's very new in my area, but my smaller stores are not switching, but most of my bigger ones have. Now, I picked up this sign at the Dollar Tree. It says Easter Egg Farms. It's so cute. I just kind of want to convert it into a standing sign instead of a hanging sign, so I don't have to mess up the wall behind my coffee bar. The Easter egg is like in black glitter, but it's not like obnoxious glitter, and so I don't think it's going to take away anything. So we're actually just going to kind of leave him as is. We're going to use another one of those metal stands from the Dollar Tree. I love these. I always have like probably 5 or 6 of these on hand because I use them a lot. They work great to make things into like a standing product, right? So I'm going to put lots of hot glue on the back again and just make this where it'll be a taller piece. This is on my top shelf, and I needed to kind of fill in a little bit more area. So instead of leaning this guy, I thought I would stand him up taller, and so you can see it really well. How easy was that? Some of these little Dollar Tree Easter signs are really cute this year. He's got like a little blue plaid ribbon around his neck and some Easter eggs. And he kind of looks like watercolor too. So it kind of goes with the other little watercolor bunny that we included on this coffee bar. I love him. He's so cute. Now, I kind of wanted a couple of items to like put in front of him to kind of finish off the rest of the shelf. And I got these last year for $1 at Target Dollar Spot. I'm not sure if they have them yet this year. I don't think my store has put them out if they do, but they're like just little ceramic bunnies that kind of look like wood bunnies. And so I just kind of piled them right in front. I don't know why that picture is so blurry. But they are a little bit cuter than that. Maybe you can see it from a distance. And I just put them right underneath that sign. Now that finishes off like the top shelf there of the coffee bar. I do want to include a little pennant banner in front of that shelf as well. And so I thought these little bunny butts from the Dollar Tree would be really cute. They come in a package of 5. So I like the odd number. So I thought I would just use all of them. Some of their feet are not printed great, but I don't think it's real obvious. So I'm going to use all 5. I just took some twine. I measured my shelf with that and just found the middle of it, and I just hot glued the twine just like about a half an inch down from the top on the back of the felt. And then I'm going to measure because since I'm hot gluing, I'm not going to be able to move these from side to side. And I'm thinking for the size of my shelf, I'm going to like do one of the little bunny bums like every like 5 inches. So I just kind of put that 5-inch mark right there in the middle, hot gluing that to it. It's just a quick, easy way to make a little pennant banner just by using a little hot glue. It just makes it easy. And especially if you space it out like this, you're going to get them even and it can save you some steps. And I always like to do like little garlands or pennant banner things in front of my shelves just to make the shelves look as extra festive for whatever holiday we're celebrating, which I'm going to be all ready for Easter now. When we get back from spring break, my son has a little bit of break left. He can enjoy the Easter decor we have going on around here. And this is how it looks hanging on that coffee bar shelf. I really love how this came together. It was pretty easy to do. It really did not take me very long to decorate this coffee bar with these fun DIYs, but I think they turned out great. What do you think? Let me give you a little tour of my coffee bar, starting here at the top and working my way down. I have this little wall on the side of my kitchen, between my kitchen and my entryway. And I didn't think I could put a coffee bar there because it has a light switch and stuff like that. But I just used floating shelves to make it work and a cabinet below it. And so if you have just a little area in your house, you can definitely make a coffee bar. And as you can see, they are super fun to decorate for every holiday. And I think this one is ready to go. The flowers and that sign we made a little bit taller there really helped fill the wall space at the top. Sometimes I do like a large sign up there, but this is a way I could get some bigger items up there without having to do a larger sign. Now it's time for the final reveal. I really hope you enjoyed these 20 Easter Dollar Tree DIYs. I tried to include a good variety of DIYs for your home decor. Please let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite. And don't forget to check out my second channel, Crafty Little Beach, if you like to watch on your phone.
Everyone needs a shoulder to cry on. Everyone needs a helping hand. Everyone needs someone to rely on. Yes, everyone needs a friend. So let's come together, celebrate each other, stand united as one. We'll lift our hands up and pray. Lay all our love before him with all of our faith. He is the change within us. There is a light. Let him lead the way. Lift our hands up and pray today. Oh, pray. Everyone needs somebody to lean on. Everyone needs someone who cares. If we come together as one, help each other get stronger. We are bound in the name of the Lord. So let's come together, celebrate each other, stand united as one. We lift our hands up and pray. Lay all our love before him with all of our faith. He is the change within us. There is a light. Let him lead the way. Lift our hands up and pray today. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. So let's come together. Yeah, let's come together. We lift our hands up and pray. Lay all our love before him with all of our faith. He is the change within us. There is a light. Let him lead the way. Lift our hands up and pray today. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. Oh, pray.
I was out drinking, looking for the next thing. I couldn't really settle down. Always on the run, I didn't want to slow down. But baby, then you came around. Yeah, you came around. No, I won't ever let you down. I promise you that I hold on. I know that it gets tough sometimes, so I'm here to remind you, love. The sun will shine on you wherever you go, wherever you go. And when it gets dark, stay strong. You're never alone. You're never alone. The sun will shine. The sun will shine. Yeah. Now I cannot picture my life being without you. You're the center of my life. I know we can't predict the future. Baby, I won't lose you. You know that I will stick around. Yeah, I will stick around. No, I won't ever let you down. I promise you that I hold on. sun will shine. Yeah, sun will shine. The sun will shine.
I was at the wrong place at the right time. 'Cause suddenly there you were with those bright blue eyes. We were conversing under the night sky when you took my hand, said let's leave now. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder, love a little louder, love a little louder. We went to a small bar with neon lights, talked about everything that was on our minds. Talking to you gave me butterflies. Then you took my hand, said let's leave now. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder, love a little louder, love a little louder, love a little louder, love a little louder, love out loud, love out loud, love out loud, love out loud. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder, love a little louder, love a little louder, love a little louder.
Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of today's video. I also want to give a huge thank you to all of my YouTube members for supporting my channel. Thank you to Karen O'Haron, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Tracy Knight, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Donna Schreiner, I Am Mojo Jojo, Live Another Day, Marin Christensen, Adrian Brolt, Debbie Middleton, Red Mama, Donna Tanner, Kim Rogers, and Maria Cruz Pagan. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you would like to become a Crafty Beach Bum member, all you have to do is hit the join button next to today's video. You're going to get early ad-free access to my content here on YouTube, a badge next to your name when you comment down below, and a shout out in every video. It's $4.99 a month. You're free to cancel at any time. And if you would like to share your DIYs, we would love to see them. Be sure to join the private Facebook group I have linked in the description of today's video if you would like to join, and I will accept that request. Now, if you would like more Easter Dollar Tree DIYs, I've got you covered. Check out one of these videos right here. And until next time, happy crafting.